With the Lewis Hamilton contract rumours slowly fading away, the Silver Arrows set their sights on bigger things, chasing Red Bull. Their recent developments to the W14 show plenty of promise, but how far will it take them? Let's hear what Lewis, George and others have to say in today's video. Lewis Hamilton has yet to finalise his contract extension with Mercedes, even though he has been engaging in extensive discussions with the team over the past few weeks. The seven-time world champion, who made way for Mick Schumacher during a recent Pirelli tyre test in Barcelona, currently has a contract that runs until the end of this year. However, it is widely anticipated that Hamilton will soon reach a new agreement with the Silver Arrows in the near future. Mercedes has reportedly secured the future of George Russell by granting him a contract extension prior to the upcoming Canadian Grand Prix. But the situation concerning Lewis Hamilton's contract is not as straightforward and will likely require resolution in the following weeks. Nevertheless, Hamilton has downplayed concerns about the duration of the negotiations, particularly with rumours of him going to Ferrari, expressing a sense of calm and showing confidence that a resolution will be reached in the near future. While talking to L'Equipe, the Mercedes star said, "We're working on renewing my contract. When we're in negotiations, there is always speculation. But I don't even know where this story comes from. As long as you don't hear it from my mouth, it will only be speculation. And I say again, we're working with Toto to finalise all of this. If it's taking a little longer, it's because we want to improve things for the future. I've been with this team for so long." Despite being 38 years old, Lewis Hamilton remains determined to secure an unprecedented 8th Formula One title, but it's been 18 months since he last added to his impressive record of 103 race victories. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Max Verstappen recently celebrated his 40th F1 triumph at the Spanish Grand Prix, marking his 5th win of the current season. Even so, Hamilton is optimistic about Mercedes' ability to enhance their car's performance throughout the season and launch a strong bid for the championship in the upcoming year. In fact, he has found his joy for racing again alongside Mercedes, having previously voiced his dissatisfaction with the engineers for not taking his input into consideration regarding last year's car designs. For those of you that missed it, here's a quick recap of what he said. "Last year, I told them the issues that are with the car. Like, I've driven so many cars in my life, so I know what a car needs. I know what a car doesn't need. And I think it's really about accountability. It's about owning up and saying, yeah, you know what? We didn't listen to you. It's not where it needs to be and we've got to work. We've got to look into the balance throughout the corners, look at all the weak points and just huddle up as a team. That's what we do. We're still multi-world champions, you know. It's just they haven't got it right this time. They didn't get it right last year, but that doesn't mean we can't get it right moving forwards." The seven-time world champion expressed that he hadn't felt as good in the car in over 15 months, following the implementation of a new upgrade package by Mercedes. This package includes a fresh front suspension and side pods, which, according to Damon Hill, made a significant impact on performance in Barcelona. Hill commented that, "Mercedes showed in the race they've leapfrogged the threat from Aston Martin and Ferrari on a circuit where it really pushes the car's ability to look after its tyres and have good aero balance and good aero performance. It's shown that it has the potential there. All the circuits are different, but Barcelona is one of those places that shows up pure performance, aero package and balance, etc., which is why the Red Bulls were so dominant, or at least Max Verstappen was. So I think there are encouraging signs there for Mercedes, definitely." The former F1 star sees Hamilton's post-race comments as another positive sign. He further mentioned, "Maybe this has unlocked more potential, but whether it's able to unlock more potential to beat Red Bull is questionable, because I think they are stuck with the fundamental chassis they have underneath the car. To hear Lewis say, 'I'm enjoying driving the car,' that's a good sign. And an indication for him because he's been saying, 'I told you we should have done something earlier.' They have gone and done what he has been pleading with them to do, and they have seen some progress. So, well done, Lewis." Despite the improvements made to the W14, there are reports suggesting that Toto Wolff, team principal of Mercedes, is not entirely convinced that the team made the right decision in reintroducing traditional side pods to the aerodynamic design. Mercedes caught everyone's attention last season by introducing their innovative zero-pod design, as they believed it would give them a competitive advantage by exploiting a regulatory loophole. But their expectations fell short, and they struggled to be competitive throughout the season, while Red Bull and Ferrari had the fastest cars on the grid. Surprisingly, Mercedes persisted with the concept at the beginning of this year, seemingly convinced that the lack of traditional side pods was not the primary factor affecting their performance. The initial races of the 2023 season brought about familiar outcomes, emphasizing the need for a change. As a result, Mercedes introduced a more conventional side pod design during the Monaco Grand Prix last month, which they continued to utilize in Barcelona last weekend. Naturally, their performance drew attention when both Lewis Hamilton and George Russell secured podium finishes. At first glance, this outcome appears to be evidence of their upgrades leading to a notable improvement in car competitiveness. However, further evidence is required from upcoming races before reaching a definitive conclusion. Even Toto Wolff, despite his extensive experience, has his reservations without additional evidence, as highlighted by F1 journalist Christian Menath during the F1 Nation podcast, where he said, "We were talking to McLaren chief Andrea Stella, and he was talking about side pods and why these wide side pods work better with this generation of cars and bring the best out of the floor, because everyone is talking about the floor. The floor is the big performance differentiator because 40% of the total downforce is generated by the floor, but the floor has to work, and it doesn't work in isolation. So, a Formula One car, you always have to look at every single aspect from the front wing to the rear wing and also from the side pods." Toto said they just wanted to take out something of the equation. He's still not convinced that the concept of these side pods is the better one. They just wanted to take something out of the equation to be sure where the problem is. But I think that was part of the problem. For me, it's definitely the right direction. But who am I to judge 1,000 engineers in Brackley? The German team has re-evaluated its approach to development, taking into account the transition to the ground effect era that began last year. This context has influenced Mercedes' strategic considerations. George Russell has emphasized that Red Bull would maintain their status as the fastest team in Formula One, regardless of the specific side pod concept they adopt. While speaking to Sky Sports, he said, "It's not the side pods what make the difference. It may be a factor, but the magic isn't in the side pods. We brought that design to the car to kind of rule it out, the side pods. The magic was done underneath the car, on the floor. That's the same for every single team." Subsequently, they implemented minor upgrades to the diffuser area in Barcelona. But despite these modifications, Lewis Hamilton, driving the lead Mercedes, finished the race in Barcelona trailing behind Max Verstappen of Red Bull by a margin of 24 seconds. Verstappen has continued his outstanding performance, maintaining his exceptional start to the 2023 season. George Russell further commented, "I'm sure Red Bull could put no side pods on their car and still be the quickest. It's a little bit more complex than that, but nevertheless, really happy with the work the team have done and the validation that the steps we've made are steps in the right direction. I definitely had confidence that we could move forward at Barcelona. The race pace was really strong this weekend with these updates. I was very disappointed with the qualifying result, 12th, but I think it's proof that you just need to keep on believing. It was a new day, new opportunities are out there. We ticked all the boxes. The car was fast, good overtakes, a really enjoyable race. Where does Mercedes go from here? Is there enough time to catch up to Red Bull this season? Share your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.